The ways I conceptualize moving from the mandolin to the mandola, or vice versa, is sharing the same intervals. I can think of it as an extension. So I'm playing the mandolin and I get down to that G, I can keep working down an extra string, or moving the opposite from the mandola, I can keep moving up in the mandolin. But another way to look at it is with the chords and scales and translating what those become. So, for instance, if I'm playing in the key of D and I know what that shape would look like on the mandolin, on the mandola, I would have to make what I think of on the mandolin as an A scale or an A chord, and that is actually the key of D. If I put the capo on the second fret of the mandola, and then I'm playing my G chord or play my G scale, that puts it in the key of D. So let's think about shove the pig's foot a little further into the fire. It's played in the key of G. So on the mandola, I would play what I think of playing on the mandolin as my D scale or my D chord, and that's actually that. What I think of as a D chord is actually a G chord. What I think of as the D scale is actually the G scale, meaning the D scale that I think of playing on the mandolin. When I play that on the mandola, it's actually a G scale. So for shove that pig's foot a little further into the fire, playing out of the D scale gives me 2 octaves to play. And this one may seem like a bit of an oddball in the mandolin family, just because you have the violin, viola, the cello, the bass. We can have the mandolin, mandola, mandocello, mando bass. There's no octave violin, but here's the octave mandolin. However, this is somewhat derived from the Greek bouzouki. The difference with the bouzouki is it would have a longer neck and possibly slightly smaller body. There's a lot of different types of octave mandolins being built today, some that resemble more of a guitar body, or that they've removed the neck from an old tenor guitar and built a octave mandolin from there, or different types as well. But similar to the regal here, we have the spruce top and mahogany sides and back. And you can see I, again, had Jim remove the finish so I can move a little easier on the neck. So you can tune it different ways. You could, and I'll get into that a little bit. But this, yeah, I said this is a Jim shank, also built in 2003. So I think the scale length for this octave mandolin is 21.5 inches, which it's pretty difficult to make the same type of chords that you would on a mandolin on something this big. They do make smaller octave mandolins or smaller scale. My friend Matt Schmidt has a nice Pava octave mandolin. It's much shorter scale, and you can play it in the same sort of positioning as a mandolin or a mandola. With this, not so much. And so a lot of times I approach it more like you would for a guitar. If you do the one finger per fret, first position, second position type deal. And often I'll tune it differently too, which is pretty common for bouzouki playing and stuff. So this is G, D, G, D. No, it's not. I'm sorry. G, D, A, D. G, D, A, D. Last word is G, D, G, D. So instead of G, D, A, E, I'm just taking that to a D. Use it sort of like a drone string, changes your chords slightly. Nice for that open D tuning. You can capo where you need to go. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, if you're interested in lessons, or for anything else, just get a hold of me at lukassimpson1@gmail.com. LUKASSIMPSON1 @gmail.com.